right, y'all. Yes, pinch me because I am absolutely like just wild about the fact that I am with Bruce Vilanch today. And no, this is not a fantasy, not a fever dream. I don't have COVID or a very niche pride raffle prize. This is really happening, folks, all right? Bruce Vilanch is an Emmy Award-winning writer, comedian, actor, and full-blown cultural icon whose voice has been woven into the fabric of American entertainment for more than 5 decades, which means if you have laughed in public since the 1970s, this man probably owes you money. And I just made him laugh. Oh my God. He's the longtime head writer of the Academy Awards, the person responsible for some of the most glamorous, audacious, and occasionally panic-inducing Oscar nights in freaking history. And if you've ever watched an award show and thought, wow, that joke was funny and dangerous, that was Bruce. That was Bruce, okay? He's written for actual legends, Bette Midler, Cher, Diana Ross, Lily Tomlin, Barbara Streisand, Patti LuPone, basically every diva who requires jokes with sequins and a safety net, okay? On Broadway, television, film, on stage, and backstage, Bruce has spent decades making smart people laugh and powerful people nervous. And long before it was safe, sponsored, or hashtagged, he was out. He was visible. And unapologetically an ally, a queer person, using humor not just to entertain, but to freaking survive. So yes, I am here with Bruce Vilanch, and I had a huge intro because it's freaking Bruce Vilanch, Emmy winner, Oscar survivor, queer icon, and somehow still the funniest dude under anywhere. To be completely honest, it's Bruce Vilanch, all right? Bruce, welcome to the FayWhat show.
Wow, I'm going to go home and sleep with myself.
Listen, I'm a lesbian and I'm about to sleep with you.
Okay, I'm available. What an introduction. Holy, well, okay.
Well, listen, no pressure, but I wrote that shit myself.
I understand.
I mean, you're like one of the greatest writers, if not the greatest writer in history. Like, how does that make you feel?
Not the greatest writer in history.
Dude, give yourself some flowers, okay?
All right, I will allow it.
You know, I was thinking that when I wrote your intro, I'm like, you know, this is too freaking long, but who cares? You know, Bruce, you've been interviewed everywhere.
Yeah.
But be honest. How does it feel being with this lesbian here at this table right now?
Oh, well, it's exciting. I was going to say we were going to do it in bed, but I had surgery and I can't really get into the bed, which was because the last time was Rita Moreno in about 91.
Oh my God, another Latina. So I'm glad to understand that you only.
I know you're probably not watching, but if you are, kidding.
Hey, Rita Moreno, if you're watching this, I'm just gonna derretirme right here. But how dope would it be that you went from Rita to me? From one Latina to another.
I know exactly. Bypassing Cheetah and you know, and all of them. I mean,
all of them.
Charo. I mean, I've known all of them and worked with all of them, but no, I haven't been in bed with any of them. But however,
you got out of being in bed with me by throwing yourself down some stairs. I get it.
I know.
I get it. That's
I was thrown, but I cannot discuss it. There's there's a case.
You know, you could just say that it was a sex accident.
It was
Bruce.
a sex accident. I love that expression, a sex accident. Like,
but
that's
no.
Generally, you know, you went home with the wrong person. But there's nothing more than that. Anything more than that is assault or felony or something like that.
Or something like that. I mean, come on, your book is called, what is it? If I would have...
It seemed like a bad idea. It was a bad idea at the time. It seemed like a bad... What is my book? It seemed like a bad idea at the time. About how I wrote the worst TV shows in history and lived.
And lived.
And the first Oscar show that I did in 1989 was the famous as Rob Lowe and Snow White, and it's the last chapter in the book. I've written a play about that show and about a fictionalized version of a lot of other things that happened, and I'm going to play it. I get to play it at a theater here in Wilton Manors.
Oh my God! And we can't wait to talk about that. That's actually going to be at Gray Box Theater in Wilton Manors, folks.
Coming up this weekend.
Oh, it's going to be yes, it's happening Friday and Saturday, and you do not want to miss it for sure. It's going to be Friday at 8 p.m. at Gray Box Theater and Saturday at 2 p.m. It's going to be the live read of Captain Showbiz, and you know, people will be able to see this firsthand before it goes anywhere else.
It's an experiment for the audience. I mean, they get to see this thing for the first time read in front of live people, and we'll see if it works.
It will work.
If it works, we'll put it on stage and we'll get costumes and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, this will be actors with music stands and scripts, but good actors, and we'll see if the material's funny.
Oh, and it's going to be funny, and we'll get to more of that in a second because I got Bruce here, so I've got to take advantage of the fact that he's here. Take him.
Take me.
Bruce, you were out in Hollywood long before it was fashionable.
Yes.
Or before it was safe, to be completely honest. Did you ever imagine that you'd become an LGBTQ plus icon by just being you?
Now, well, the idea of being an LGBT plus, and we keep adding letters, L, Y, D, W, T, F, B, Y, L, B. I mean, I've lost track of how many identities we now have. The prospect of being an icon was not there. It wasn't on the table. I mean, there wasn't a kind of an above-board gay culture that would foster that kind of thing. So no, I had determined. I'd read a book by a historian named Merle Miller, actually an interview that he gave about a book, and he was out, and the New York Times asked him, "What is it? Is it difficult being out?" And he said, "Well." He said the word faggot. He said a faggot is a homosexual gentleman who has just left the room.
Wow.
And I read that and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to be that faggot. I'm going to be the one who says, you can't call me a faggot because I'm sitting here at a table talking to you. I am one of you. I am a professional writer like you are. And it stood me in good stead. And I'm sure there were jobs I missed out on back in the day because people were homophobic and afraid. But I have a feeling I wouldn't want to work with those people anyway. And so that was kind of my North Star. I just kept saying, I'm not going to hide. And I'm lucky that I'm in a business that encourages creativity, eccentricity, flamboyance. And, there were a lot of gay people who were just not out formally. And that was because gay at the time was equated with evil. You were a bad person. You were going to commit suicide. You were going to have a bad end. And every movie you did, that was what happened. And so nobody wanted to think that a guy like Paul Lynde, who made them laugh, they didn't want to think that he was gay. They knew he was gay.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to think about him in those terms because those terms were very severe. And that's what coming out as a nation brought to us, the idea that we are actual people and not just abstract items that you can hate just for the hell of it.
Just for the hell of it, you know. And I was going to ask you if there was something that you had lost because of being unapologetically you. And like you said, some jobs probably you did lose. I mean, and and again, things happen for us, not to us.
Right.
I'm a firm believer of that those jobs were not meant to come across your lovely face, Was there a moment when you realized, I have to do this. If not me, then who? I am going to continue to be who the hell I am no matter what.
Well, pardon me, it got kicked into high gear when AIDS happened. Because at that point, we were not just identifying ourselves politically, but we were saving our lives. And, I lost hundreds and hundreds of people. And
survivor's guilt?
I'm sorry?
Do you have survivor's guilt?
No, I don't have survivor's guilt. I mean, I think I have survivor's wonder. Like, how did that happen? And a lot of it was how you behaved. It's a sexually transmitted disease, which is why in Africa it's heterosexual mostly, and in this country it caught on with gay people. So I didn't have that kind of guilt, but I had not guilt, but I had motivation because so many of my friends were.
Passing away.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I had a friend who was a real dark side guy who, like, one of those guys who would go into third world situations to have a good time. You don't want, where they hose you down with a water cannon, that. And he favored slings.
Okay.
And one night he called me and he said, "That's it, I'm going celibate." And I said, "Celibate? Isn't that a bit severe?" He said, "It's better than nothing." And what I understood was, if he couldn't be in the sling, he might as well not be doing it at all.
That's it.
Yeah, so I kind of thought I understand your position. That was, of course, that was not my position, but every people had to change and adapt and all of that. But the hardest part was convincing the other world that we were worth saving.
Yeah.
Because the government was not
Yeah.
interested.
Remember, Reagan wouldn't even say the word.
Didn't say the word, exactly.
It was a very tough time. There was a time when we would do these great stories about there not being any more infections in Australia and about the possibility of AIDS being eradicated by 2030. And with all the Trump cuts, et cetera, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. We just hope that we don't go backwards to what happened back then. Bruce, do you think that today's queer creatives really understand how much ground was broken back then?
I think the smart ones do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I think a lot of younger guys who aren't paying attention to pretty much anything but their phones are probably not aware of what actually went on, or they view it as ancient history, and but I think that the ones who have their minds are certainly aware of it. I mean, they've now understand what they come from.
Yeah.
And all of that. But we live in a very, very narcissistic society, and social media, I call it keyboard warfare, is really narcissism central. And if it didn't happen to you, it didn't happen.
It just didn't happen.
Minutes ago, it didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were much more interested in what had gone before than this generation. These last few generations are. It's what's immediately happening is all that really interests them. And I'm immediately happening, so I'm interested.
With all the, all the banned books and banning history lessons, you know what I mean? Like, I have met younger folks, Bruce, that never heard of Stonewall. I mean, like, and it's scary as shit is what it is.
Well, it brings it, particularly for me, that's scary. But I mean, in principle, just today, Texas A&M University told the philosophy department that they can no longer teach Plato because Plato was too woke. What the fuck? Plato? One of the original philosophers cannot be taught? Well, it's Texas, what can I tell you?
Yeah, which is
the axiom of evil.
Well,
I know a lot of good people in Texas.
And Texas is great.
It's nuts what's going on there. Now, in of course the gay world, it's also kind of a little bit crazy. There is all of that, but it's nothing so extreme.
Yeah,
nothing really crazy. Nothing that nuts.
Nothing that nuts. Just
a
little bit nuts. Just not,
rack my brain.
Yeah, but Texas is like the carbon copy or our mirror image of Florida. Like every time Abbott does something over there, we wonder when is DeSantis going to do it here or vice versa.
When's Rhonda kicking in?
Ron DeSantis, Lord.
Ron Disaster, we call him in L.A., but that's L.A.
I love that. We have like stickers that are Ron DeSantis that are him as a drag queen.
Right. She is a drag queen, Ron DeSantis, yeah.
Of course.
I know.
Let's talk about Captain Showbiz, okay? Yes, let's talk about Captain Showbiz. So Captain Showbiz, a play that feels hilarious, chaotic, glamorous, and deeply personal.
It is all of those things. It's all those things, but it's deeply personal, and I experienced it. It's not about me. It's principally about this guy who's no longer with us, who's named Alan Carr, who produced Grease and La Cage aux Folles on Broadway. And the Oscars were his kind of the end of his career because it was calamitous, and it was the first one that I wrote on because I had worked with him for years with Anne Margaret and doing her stage acts in Vegas and stuff like that, and he managed her for years. So he brought me into this, and I'd written for the Oscars unofficially before, and I've written unofficially since. But I mean, there were 25 shows in between that. But I survived. I'm an Oscar survivor.
I survived the Oscars. We're going to get T-shirts.
But he's a fascinating character. I mean, he's one of these guys I think people can identify with because he is a boy who just had a dream, and he got his dream, and he managed to crap all over it, as people do, and they don't realize they're doing it. And that's what I'm hoping comes across in the play. But it's also very funny and chock full of stories about all the the insanity that goes on at the Oscars,
Ugh.
because it's still, even even with much lower ratings than it used to have, it's still the kind of thing people talk about.
Oh, 100%. And so Harlan Starr, who is the main
Harlan
character,
Starr is-
right? How much of him is fantasy and how much of him is you?
No, it's almost all not fantasy. It's almost all Alan Carr, but with some other things added from that. There is a character that is me, but I want to see how that plays. The writer of the show, because he, like I did on that show, I kind of sat back and you couldn't fight him. You couldn't. You just had to let it roll, and so I was sitting on my hands a lot on that show. taking credit for the good stuff.
Why tell this story now, Bruce? I mean, like, you've done the Oscars for so many years. You've had such a long, prolific life, like a career.
I think when I wrote the book, and the book was, I've done all these podcasts with young guys and girls who asked me, how did the Star Wars holiday special happen?
Oh, God.
Who said yes to the Brady Bunch Variety Hour or the Paul Lynde Halloween special? Or Cole Porter in Paris with Connie Stevens. Who said yes to this? And have they paid their debt to society? So I thought it's kind of like a half-assed memoir. I was at the point in my life where I could write a memoir. So, but I thought I would do it about all of those shows because they all show up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody watches them, and I thought I wrote these before these people were born.
The Star Wars one, especially. That was just, will go down in infamy forever.
It started with Star Wars and the Brady Bunch because those are two brands that just you can't kill them. They're current. There's always some new thing happening, and people are aware of them. So.
Yeah.
And the Star Wars especially.
Oof, I can't wait to hear that.
Star Wars became the Scientology of the nerd.
It really did. There's a whole cult that follows that still.
It's religious and terrifying, scary how they come after people.
The play wrestles with cancel culture. It wrestles with ego, activism. Did writing feel cathartic for you?
Oh, yeah, actually, because I got to get all these stories off my chest. And opinions about stuff. I mean, obviously, we were not woke in that era, but there were network censors who were as ridiculous as anything. They were the only wokesters, but nobody ever called them that, of course. But and so there are stories in there that will resonate because it's all about what you can and can't say now, and how you can't. Everything is an insult, and everybody is sensitive, and I understand that because I'm a member of several minorities, so I'm sensitive. But it's all calibrated. You have to have a sense of humor at the same time. So it's easy for me to say with my white privilege. People said, "You have white privilege." I said, "I'm gay and I'm Jewish." And where's the privilege? Excuse me. The white privilege? No, the guy in the Ozarks has white privilege.
Yeah.
If he wants to use it. But. I kept thinking, I had all these, people say you can't do that, and I said I never felt that I came from privilege. But of course I learned that compared to other people, I knew what it meant.
So a coma, a hospital gown, mentally upgraded to a caftan.
Well, because Alan wore caftans, he was famous for wearing caftans. And so he has to, as I say in the play, even in a coma you can look fabulous.
Because that feels very you right there, right? Like
it is me quoting him, I'm telling you. Right? He didn't say that, but this is something that would trickle off of his tongue. I have no question about it. I had him in mind.
I love that. What a beautiful legacy for him.
The people who remember him, it's weird because he died 30 years ago, and it was a very sad end. But people vanish, I mean, it's not. Yeah. And I think of people who I still feel like they're around, and they've been gone for so many decades.
Like who?
Oh, like Peter Allen, who I wrote with and did all of his shows. He was married to Liza Minnelli.
Yes.
Won an Oscar for writing When You Walk Between the Moon and New York City, and he was, it was a big stage star in his time. But he died in '92, and it seems to me like, oh my God, that's yesterday. But it's not yesterday. It's
30 years ago. I know. But that's like old Hollywood glamour, versus what we have now that's kind of just like modern chaos.
Yeah, I agree. Modern chaos is absolutely right. But you know, I watched that show Hacks, and
I love that show.
everybody loves that show.
Gene Smart.
I love that show. But to me, the only part of it that's authentic is the stuff about the Hannah Einbinder, who is Lorraine Newman's daughter from SNL, the original cast. And so I knew as a baby, and now she's playing this character. And she's a young female writer in Hollywood, comedy writer, and her stuff is written by young female comedy writers, so it's authentic. They're writing stuff they know about. Nobody on that show is writing about the dinosaur that Gene Smart plays, because she's based on Joan Rivers largely, and with some Toady Field and Phyllis Diller thrown in. And I even wonder if those names are recognizable to a lot of people at this point, because they've been gone for a while. Joan still, but the others are, you know, it disappears. So nothing that they write for her strikes me as being authentic. She's not funny when she's on stage playing that character. And she's a great actress, and how great she is that she makes it funny. She makes it feel like
she makes it believable.
She makes it believable, and I think that she's not well served on that show. But that's because I was there.
Yeah,
I wrote for Joan, and I know what that gig is like.
So Hack should hire you.
Well,
you should be writing for her.
They generally have one person a year from the old school, and it's generally a woman. Carol Leifer did it. Janice Hirsch did it. These are wonderful writers I worked with, and I don't think they'll bring a guy in to do it. I think.
But you're not a regular guy,
no,
Bruce.
That's true. I mean, I may have that advantage. We'll see.
The play on Friday and on Saturday. If someone comes in expecting laughs, what surprises them instead?
Oh, that it's human, that it's not just caricature, that it's about a real person and a real Linda Lavin who read it right before she passed.
Oh, you're killing me! You're killing me!
She was a great.
What was it? Mid-Century Modern. Did you watch the show?
Yeah, I did. It was a lot. I liked it.
Me too. I mean, and she was so great. Her timing had not been lost. Like she was so on point.
I have a feeling she's going to win an Emmy posthumously this year.
So she read this play that we're going to hear the rating for Friday and Saturday. She read it.
She read it. She was a mentor of mine, and a friend of mine, and she said it's a play about loneliness, and don't let that get away from you. It's about loneliness. It's about what this person in his own little world, he got what he wanted and he made a mess of it, and and that's funny, but it's sad at the same time. And I said, okay, well now I really want to do it.
Wow.
I really want to do it.
Wow. So the reading will be Friday at 8 p.m. at Gray Box, and then Saturday at 2 p.m. So explain to me what a reading is, okay? So these incredible actors that you got locally are going to be playing out this play, and then whatever doesn't fly might not make it to the next.
That's right. Well,
is that how that works?
Yeah, we're doing it for an audience.
Us.
Hopefully a big
See
audience.
you there.
Come on down, because we want to hear a reaction, and after the show as well. So it'll probably be actors sitting on stage with music stands and scripts, and we will be reading the play, and they'll be playing different parts and all that, and I'll be playing Harlan, the lead, which I wrote for Nathan Lane. Right? But he's gone serious. He's doing Death of a Salesman on Broadway. So he said, I don't want to do this kind of stuff on stage. I do it on television. I've done this on stage a lot. I think I have messed up my
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You are totally fine. Oh my God.
Coming to fix things.
I know, he's got arms for days. He's got arms for days.
Baby.
Wow, so you wrote that for Nathan?
So I did write it for Nathan.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, he was my inspiration because I think he knew Alan, but aside from that, I mean, he gets it. He gets that.
He gets it.
A kid who has dreams, who creates himself as a show business personality and gets to live that role until it suddenly he hits a wall with it because of his behaviors.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll listen to what the audience is, and we'll feel how the thing goes as a performance piece. So far, it's just been on the page.
Yeah. Wow. When did you write this? When did you
I
get this all
started
together?
writing it during COVID, of course, because everybody was home doing things. I started writing it after I'd done this initial round of podcasts with these young people who asked about these awful shows, and some of them asked about the Oscars. And I thought it had been gestating because he was such a fabulous character, and I had different ways of doing it. I wrote it once. The first time with a lot of people, it was like Auntie Mame. It had a million characters in it, and no one can afford to do that anymore. So then I wrote it as a monologue, and I said, no one's going to want to learn all these words. And so then I turned it to it's kind of a monologue, but it's got other actors, me and some other actors interspersed. So that's something else I'm going to look for to see if that works.
Well, and I love that you're having this reading at the Gray Box Theater. So I love the Gray Box Theater. They've been around for a couple of months, and in those few months, they have really been uplifting our community in such a way. And they are having big name stars like yourself, but they're also helping local folks, to get their word out. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love everybody over there at Gray Box. I just met Sharon Gless because of them.
Yeah, so I understand she was there. For some show. Was she there for
a documentary that they were playing here? But I mean, it was just so incredible to meet her.
She's terrific. I love Sharon.
Why Wilton Manors? Why Gray Box? Why did you want to try this out there?
My friend Gary Van Horn lives in Wilton Manors, and he is an impresario, and he wanted to have a theater where he could just present things, and so this is all him working this up. And I said, the last time I was down here, I said, well, I think I'd like to do a reading of this play, and he said, great, let's do it.
Oh,
so there was no question. I wasn't going to do it anyplace else.
I love that. What's your guilty pleasure? What do you do when you're home by yourself without your shirt on, without the beautiful Carol Burnett on your shirt?
Of course.
Watch porn. And thank you. We are, and let's talk about Fab Scout. No, but I mean, like, do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Well, I've been on it 5 or 6 times.
You have, yeah, but that doesn't mean you watch it.
Mentor, and I was a judge, and I was Santa Claus one year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't watch it too much anymore because I got used to the formula. I'll tell you what has happened is when I started on RuPaul, the drag queens were either absolutely gorgeous lip syncers who looked beautiful and just lips and didn't do any comedy. Their idea was to be fabulous. And then the others were like Bianca Del Rio, who worked every night in clubs and had a personality and was funny. And I said, it's apples and oranges. You can't ask these people to do what they can't do. However, over the years with the success of it, the little queens at home watching have discovered that in order to win, you have to do everything. Mm-hmm. You have to be funny. You have to make your own clothes. You have to look good.
You have to dance.
You have to do the death drop without losing.
Without killing yourself?
At least one of your.
That's what you were doing. Yeah. That's why you're hurt. You were trying to attempt the death drop.
Attempting a death drop, and I'm low-hanging fruit. What can I say?
What do you watch then? Do you watch White Lotus?
Oh, I love White Lotus.
Oh, I love me some
Although
White
I have
Lotus.
to say, I got a little caveat. That,
Please.
The first one, and I know Mike White, and I said this to him. I said, I was sad at the end of the first White Lotus where the gay guy had to be murdered. That smacked of old school stuff.
Uh-huh.
And there was somebody else in the second one that I think that was gay. I can't remember. That was well, I did love that the whole thing was about, oh my God, I accidentally gave my brother a hand
by mistake
while we were both on Senegalese Thunderfuck or whatever they were dropping in that Thai jungle. But no, I'm a huge fan of it, and the last one had a little bit of padding, a lot of chittering monkeys, and a lot of gorgeous things, But I'm anxious to see the next one, to see what he comes up with.
Yeah.
French, I understand. I guess this is the third or the fourth, I forget. So there was one that was in Italy that was also wonderful.
Yeah.
And that had Jennifer Coolidge saying, the gays are trying to kill me.
The gays are trying to kill me. I mean, we all wanted her to come back from the dead.
Yeah. Well, I think he had done, with the two things, he had done everything he could do with her.
Yeah.
And so he had to kill her off. But I'm sorry, it was the gays who had to kill her. But it was so ridiculous that, they weren't trying to kill her. I mean,
No, but it
somebody
was
else
hysterical.
wound up killing her.
And people had T-shirts
She
and
killed
everything. The
herself.
gays are trying to kill me. Like
I know,
was,
I
you know.
have that shirt.
Do you?
Of
I
course.
love that.
Please,
I love
I
that.
have a million T-shirts, a whole White Lotus collection.
I love that. Do you watch other award shows? I mean, since you were so connected to the Oscars,
watch
like
them
I know,
all.
like Golden Globes is coming up this
Yes,
week.
Golden
Critics'
Globes
Choice
this
we
week,
just
Critics' Choice.
passed. You watch them all? Like I'm a
I
fiend
watch them
for
to see
it.
what they do. Yeah, exactly. And of course, there's
To
a
judge.
whole-
So you watch To Judge.
I watch To Judge. There's a whole cadre of young writers who were writing those shows, and I look down my nose at the TV screen as I watch it, thinking, oh, you could have done that. You could have had a better joke there.
Yeah.
But they suffer from the usual stuff, which is that a lot of people who aren't funny are asked to be funny, and or asked to be serious, and they can't do that either. They give a lot of awards on those shows, Golden Globes and Critics' Choice. Most of them are acting awards, so they're most of the audience continues to be interested.
Yeah.
You know, the Oscars, somebody has to come out and give a sound editing award, which is, believe me, a challenge.
Those are the awards that need to give off camera.
Oh man, we had
you know?
we had a horse give it one year. I think a bear, Gentle Ben, was giving. Don't even.
I don't even want to
ask.
know. All right, Bruce. So drop the pen, unclench the halo, and loosen up the caftan, because we are in Wilton Manors, where the martinis are stiff, the lighting lies, and nobody answers politely. So this is my favorite show. My favorite game is called Say What with FayWhat. Okay?
All right.
It's fast, it's filthy, and it's freaking fabulous.
Hey,
all right?
hey,
No
yeah.
thinking, just instinct or whatever's left of it. Whatever it is. All right? 2 choices, no context, no rewrites. Just say it like you mean it or like you're about to be quoted, because you never know. All right?
Wow, okay.
So say what with FayWhat. All right? Here we go. Old Hollywood glamour or modern Hollywood with an HR department.
Old Hollywood. Old Hollywood glamour. Even if I can't wear a T-shirt.
Even if you can't wear a T-shirt. Bette Midler at her meanest or Cher when she's bored?
They're identical, actually.
Write the joke they'll steal or bomb honestly and sleep at night?
Write the joke that they'll steal? Oh, write the joke that they'll steal.
Because, you're used to that.
I can make sure they don't sleep at night.
Because you're going to remind them that it's your
Hey,
joke.
I'm going to send the enforcer over.
Backstage at the Oscars or front row watching someone else steal your joke?
Oh, backstage. Backstage.
Caftan for comfort or sequins that say, I survived?
Oh, caftan for comfort.
With your new, what is it? You're not wearing Birkenstocks. You're wearing what?
I'm wearing Crocs. I'm Crocs because that's all I can fit the foot brace into.
That's the
And
that's
I
the story.
survived as to reddened of Gloria Gaynor, who has become the enemy.
Don't even get me started on that. Being the smartest person in the room or the reason the room exists?
Oh, the reason the room exists, of
It's
course.
Yes.
Feed the ego.
A perfect joke no one hears or a messy one everyone remembers?
Oh, a messy one. Everyone remembers. Absolutely.
Legacy carved in stone or one last laugh that burns the house down?
Oh, legacy carved in stone. Why not?
Rehab chic or red carpet realness, same gown, different headline?
I would say rehab chic.
Yes. Being loved or being quoted?
Being loved. Being quoted. Well, being
think-
loved and being quoted. Like
Yes.
Oscar Wilde was loved and quoted. So.
Well, and I think that you are loved and you are quoted, just to let you know.
Yeah, I think
Bruce,
sometimes that's why you're quoted.
because you're loved
Yeah, sometimes.
and because you're super smart.
Oh,
You're
well.
smart as hell, and you say the things that we don't know how to say sometimes. That is what you do,
Thank you. That's
Bruce,
wonderful.
before I let you go, I want to tell you something that we do here on the FayWhat Show, right? At the end of every interview, we just don't say goodbye. We say it together. On the count of 3, we both say, FayWhat! Okay? I'm going to go.
certainly.
All right? However you feel it, however
All right.
dramatic you want it, however it comes through. All right? Maybe with a
Yeah.
laugh or not. It doesn't matter. Okay? You ready?
All right.
All right. 1, 2, 3. FayWhat! All right.
It's not the first time I've said that.
I have a
Over lunch
feeling.
with Faye Dunaway, I think that.
Oh, I love her. That's who I was named after.
All right.
All right, can you do another FayWhat? Do it. 1, 2, 3.
FayWhat?
Yes. All right. That is the legendary Bruce Vilanch.
That's right.
Follow him on social
Faye.
media at Bruce Vilanch, right?
I guess, yeah, you can, or yeah, wegotbruce.com. That's good.
Oh, I like that one too.
Yep.
Don't miss his wickedly funny, unexpectedly touching new play, Captain Showbiz, live on stage January 9th and 10th at Grey Box Theater in Wilton Manors. Tickets are available now at showpass.com/Captain Showbiz. Bruce, thank you for your brilliance, your honesty, your laughter, and for spending the morning with me. I really, really appreciate it.
It was a treat. Thank you.
All right. Till next time, Bruce. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
All right.